Hey everyone, we are back again. It's been a while since me and Hamilton has been in a video together. But before we completed our 21-day fast, I wanted us to share like what we learned about ourselves during that last fast of the year and things that we learned about um, this year and changes and things like that. So that's why I wanted to come on with Hamilton. And for me, well, I'll start with him. I'll let him start because I'm always talking on here. So, what did you learn from your fast?
I think one of the things that was a repetitive, another lesson is patience. A lot of times during a fast, you get anxious to eat again. You want to eat solid foods, but it's also always good to remember that you're doing this for a reason, and at the end, it'll be worth the time, the 21 days that you did. So that was one of the big lessons that I learned was just to remain patient, and you will eat again. It's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's very true. And for me, to me, it's not just about the eating, like eating foods or losing weight or anything like that. I'm already tiny. I don't, so it's not even about that. For me, it's also a time to rest physically and mentally, spiritually. I always learn more and more about myself. I think about the last time we did a 21-day fast. We were still in Wilmington, Delaware, and we were packing up and leaving our place. So that time it was interesting because we were releasing and letting go of things and like truly purging things, on the physical level and on the spiritual level. For me personally, I was, and then we're in Savannah now. We moved into our place in November, and then in December we're really starting to put things where they need to go and really starting to clear out the space so that it can really be a home. So, and we're fasting. We were fasting during that time. So to me, that was a very powerful thing, and it also showed so much growth. I really have been taking the time to release a lot of old stuff, like things from belief systems that no longer serve me, that may have served me for that time period, but or throughout my childhood or whatever, but it doesn't serve me anymore because I'm in a new place, a new space, and I'm just so thankful for it. And I will say definitely there were some times where I really wanted my fruit, I really wanted a salad and things like that, but then I think about how much um, it's something that with fasting it's like it creates a discipline or whatnot. It really supports me on the mental level too, like of just being focused and not allowing any distractions or anything to keep me from that goal that I've been doing. So yeah, do you have anything else that you have?
I think another big thing is when you're doing your fast, uh, it depends on how you go into it, the mind state. This fast before I started, I said, you know what, this is going to be the easiest fast that I do. I'm going to enjoy this fast. I told myself that, and I feel like I had an easier time doing it versus being resistant to it and say, here we go, we're doing another 21-day fast. So I think the mindset before you go into it and while you're on it has a big impact that what type of experience that you have. So that's another conclusion something else that I learned is that it's good to be positive and have a good mindset going into it and during the fast
Mm-hmm.
because it had a big impact on how I felt during the time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for as far as things that I like that I've gone through and learned. A lot of things that I did learn that has nothing to do with the actual physical part of it kind of goes along with things that I've learned this past year about myself. So when I was talking to Hamilton about this, just like maybe a week or two ago, I was like just thinking about the things that I have learned this year. There's so many things that I can think of that is, that has happened, and I've shared in some of my videos, and people that that are my friends on Facebook or just go on the Infinitenature page on Facebook, they'll see that I talk about some of those things. And one of the biggest things that I've learned is to let go and to surrender. With this being a 9 year in numerology, which is a time of completions, of endings. So that some of the things that I've held on to, it was time to let go of it. I let go of a job, we moved. A lot of internally, a lot of feelings and emotions that no longer serve me no more. I'm in the process of letting that go, doing a lot of forgiveness work and all kind of stuff. So one of the biggest things that I've learned is the importance of surrendering and not being attached to the results of things, because when I attach myself to the results of things, I create a disappointment in myself and fear and guilt and all kind of stuff. And it's okay to feel those feelings. And that's another thing I learned, is that it's okay to feel, because in those feelings I can recognize and identify what I need and be able to move from it. So that it's okay to have the emotions of not only of joy and abundance and being grateful and all of that stuff, but it's also okay to identify and to feel the sadness or the anger. And I feel like in society we are not taught to express our feelings. We are taught to think about things in the intellect, being smart, versus really feeling, because before we really think, we feel, just think about being a baby, and a way that when a baby cannot talk, they express themselves through crying, or you have to, it's more of a feeling thing versus thinking things out. So that's a big thing for me. And I also learned the importance of being myself and being true to who I am and standing up for myself and creating boundaries. And when I feel like I'm in a situation to where it could potentially be go left, that it's important for me to set boundaries and set guidelines or whatnot on what I will and will not tolerate. And so also the power of having the power of resolving all situations in peace, even if it's a challenging situation where I'm being tested constantly. That is the purpose of self mastery, is to really do that. And that has been a challenge for me this past year. I mean, but it still is at times, but I can say that I've grown a lot from that. I've learned the importance of just doing things that is best for me and not worrying about what other people think, because it doesn't matter what other people think. The most important thing is that I like myself and that I love myself. And if anybody can't deal with that, then that's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that it's okay to change your mind about things. It's okay to decide that, okay, this person, place, or thing has served its purpose, and now it's time to move on. And that it's important to let it go, and that at the end of the day, you know, to just let go of the need to be right or wrong, and I have to be right. Let go of that perfectionist part of me, and just knowing that there's always a balance in things, and that there's no reason for me to worry about what other people need to know and what they need to get. And it's like there's always that law of cause and effect. There's always that balance in the scales, that whatever comes up must come down, and I just need to focus on me and take ownership for my life and my choices, which I have been doing. And that it's okay to have some parts of myself to myself, because if I'm on this path, that I have to make sure that I'm good, and that I cannot allow outside things to distract me, and that it's okay to protect myself from energies or things that I know that are not conducive to where I'm going at. I can go on and on about a lot of things that I've learned this year, but that's some of it. So for you, what have you learned this year?
I think some of the things I learned this year, about relationships. Sometimes people are in your lives for seasons, and sometimes you go different directions, and that's okay. You don't have to be attached or keep going with the same situation, same people forever. Sometimes you grow, they grow, or you just be going two different directions, and that's okay. It could be no lost love, or there don't have to be enemies or anything like that. But people um, in your life for seasons. That's one thing I learned this year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. And for what I am looking forward to in the new year is the great things that I have been built. I feel like that I have been building for the last year. Things that have been on my mind, things that I have written about. It was very challenging for me at one point in time to see myself not not working in working a regular 9 to 5 job. It was very difficult for me to see myself outside of that, out of just the fears that come with that. But one of the things that I know is that that I'm here for a reason. I feel like we all here for a reason, and that I have choices, and that God is guiding me each step of the way, no matter what. And so I'm just looking forward to stepping outside of my comfort zone, and I'm just looking forward to all the great things that are to come. And I'm just excited. I'm just very excited, and I will love for you all to see that that growth unfold. Because one thing that I'm learning is that you know, there's so many times I feel like what has held me back is seeing myself as attaching who I am to what I'm doing. That's another big thing. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot. It's not about what I am. It's about who I am. And even what I've learned when I go to social things, when I do go, because I'm one of those people that I could be a hermit. And me, I've been slowly getting out of that. One of the things I realized that kept me from away from that, I can be honest, is that people are always asking about what you do. There's always what you do. So what do you do? What do you do? As if what you do is attached to who you really are. Because I could tell you what I do, but that, to me, what I was doing before, to me, it definitely was needed, but it's not truly who I am. And who I am is, I am a reflection of God. I am confident, courageous, you know, creative adult. I am a lover of life. You know what I'm saying? I love astrology, numerology. I love to look at things from a deeper symbolic point of view. That's who I am. And who I am really doesn't even have an identity. But one thing that I've learned is that when in the past, when I had that belief of attaching who I was to what I do, then that really puts a lot of pressure on you. But when I start to see myself as just an ordinary person that I do some great things, and not take away from the things that I'm doing, but I'm still just an ordinary person here doing the work that I'm meant to do in this lifetime, and that doesn't make me special. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me a part of this greatness here on earth. You know what I'm saying? So once I realized that I'm just me, and that what I am has nothing to do with what I do, that made things much, much simpler. It's making things much, much simpler. That I'm just LaToya at the end of the day. And yes, there's a lot of greatness that comes with me, but I'm no better than nobody else. That every job, every thing has its place, and that and that I'm just am. So that's one thing that I wanted to share. But that's all that I have. And anything else you have to say?
That's it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to look at this. If you watched this long, and look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Have a great, great day.